Hey everybody, it's Gypsy and welcome to On the Edge of Appalachia. It is very gloomy. Well, maybe it's nope, I feel raindrops again. Very gloomy and cold spring day in Northeast Ohio. This year's weather is total opposite of last year. Last year was hot and dry. We had our last snowstorm March 10th last year, and then it got hot and it stayed hot. It was like summer immediately. So growing is much different this year, and I'm having a huge problem keeping up with the weeding because, it rains and they just pop up all over the place. But anyways, today we are going to talk about the Three Sisters method of planting corn. Now, I have never planted corn before, and this is my first time. And we thought that my son and daughter-in-law and I thought we would try this method this year and see if it works for us. If it doesn't, next year we'll try something different. So this is my biggest project. And of course, as you can see, it's my biggest project trying to keep this grass out of here. I mean, the rain is ridiculous. Anyways, so my son and daughter-in-law cut out this here for growing corn. I believe they said it's 45 feet this way by 15. Okay, so I decided to grow different types of corn. Today I have them sectioned off. That's what the white rope is. Today I finally planted the last section. I never thought I would get there because, every time I go to the next section, there's more weeds and stuff. I have such a mess. Anyways, so this was my last section, and this is popcorn. I decided to do 2 sections of popcorn. So today's popcorn is, let me see, there we go, Japanese Hollis, and it's a white popcorn. I planted 20 seeds. Now, in my gardener, I find very, very often it will say approximately 20 seeds, and you get way more. I'm going to show you because I did 20, and I don't know if you'll be able to see in this packet. Come on. Sorry, everybody. I still have, quite a few in there. This happens often. I think it's only $2 for a pack of seeds at MI Gardener. And you always get, in my experience, you always get more than what the package says. So anyways, I planted these. I did 20. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 5 mounds, okay? And I'll explain to you how this works in a minute. Now over here again, I just planted these a few days ago and weeded, and as you can see, the weeds are coming back. This section here is another form of popcorn. This is the red strawberry popcorn. I just planted this recently, so nothing is coming up yet. So in this section, which I did weed in here, but it needs to be done again. This is eating corn, regular corn, sweet corn. This is called, I think, Pearls and Gold or something like that. It's beautiful. Okay. And I don't know how many mounds of this, but I have more of that. And then this section I did the most of because I bought the most seeds of these. And this is called Gold Bantam or Bantam Gold. Okay, so that's those. Now, what they say is when you are doing this method, you plant your corn first. Okay, so what you do is you have your mounds. They're pretty big, about circumference of 18. I make them pretty big because what you're going to do is you are planting your corn 6 inches apart in a square, okay? So you want to make sure you have enough room for that. The next thing you do, which I have already done in this big section, you want to plant squash in between. And it could be any kind of like vining squash, the kind that spreads that you want. So here in between these two mounds, I have already planted my sugar pie pumpkin. And that lasted me, I think, until about the second last row. So then in between, I planted crown of thorn gourds. Okay, so that's how far I am in this section. I have to plant the squash and weed again in the second section because that corn's getting big too. So they also tell you when your corn is 4 to 6 inches tall, which mine are about there now, you plant pole beans. Any kind of pole beans you want, as long as they're pole, around your corn. So I believe it's one. I'll have to look it up because I'm going to do that today. 1 bean per stalk. So what I'm going to plant today is, what is this one? Sorry, trying to get this out. I should get my camera stand out here. This is Kentucky Wonder pole beans, and this says about 25. Probably more in there, I don't know. Okay, so that's what I'm doing today. And I think I will get the camera stand out because it's not an octopus. So that's how you start out planting with Three Sisters. So obviously throughout the season, I am going to do updates on the Three Sisters method and how it works for me. I've heard some people say it worked really good for them, and other people say they didn't like it. So I'm just going to have to see. Now, one of my problems here is, this section was so big, I kind of did this half first. Okay, so I planted my corn in this half. Had my mounds and everything. Well, I think the day after I planted this section, we had major rain. Oh, there's a surprise, right? It's all this year's been. So, I suppose it's better than a drought. A lot of my mounds got smashed, they flattened from the rain because we literally had flooding. I mean, everything was flooded. I thought I was going to lose all my corn. As you can see, this mound flattened. Well, 3 of my seeds got lost. I only have 1 stalk coming up. I have a couple mounds that just didn't. They flattened and nothing came up. So I just had a little bit of loss here so far. So, I think I'm going to get started planting the beans. Okay, everybody. So, what I'm doing now is I'm going to plant my pole beans. This section here, I'm doing, again, I think I showed you already, Kentucky Wonder pole beans. They look like that. Don't mind my dirty hands. I hate wearing gloves when I'm gardening because I like the feel of soil. So, what I did was I made a hole 3 inches from each stalk to plant my beans. Now, since it's been a while since I planted the corn, I decided to just put a little bit of calcium and just a tinge of fertilizer in each hole. So all you do is you put your bean in there, 3 inches. Now this stalk here is 4 inches. This one's on the small side, but I'm still going to plant the bean anyways. They say 4 to 6 inches. That one's a little behind, but I'm still going to do it. I think it's going to be okay. Okay, so I got my beans in there. Now, so this mound's all planted. You got your corn and your beans. Now, in between the mounds, I have planted squash. Over here, it's my sugar pie pumpkins. And that's your Three Sisters. Now this is a Native American ancient method for planting corn. I think they may have taught the Pilgrims and the settlers how to do this. Now, they do this because each plant feeds each other, because they require different nutrients, but they also add nutrients that the other plants need. Also, when your squash starts spreading, it'll take care of your weeding problem, because I am constantly weeding. So it will do that. So I'm going to continue on in this section, planting my pole beans. And that's going to take me a while. Probably tomorrow I'll get on to the next section, and I have to wait the last two sections because they haven't even sprouted yet. So I think that is probably all I could tell you about this. What I can't figure out, okay, way back when, since this is an ancient method, they did not have the scientific methods we have today to know what nutrients in the soil, by testing it, what plant's giving what. And I mean, how did they figure that out? It must have taken a very long time, because you can only do it by trial and error. So anyways, I'm very interested to see how this is going to work out. The next video on Three Sisters will probably be when, I don't know, maybe the squash starts sprouting or the beans. We'll see. So that's how you get it started. So there will be updates throughout the summer. If summer ever gets here in Northeast Ohio, they say it's coming next week. We're going to get into the 70s. Ooh, hopefully no rain. We need a break from rain. So I think I'm going to leave you with that. Blessed be, and make it a joyful one.